I was going to do this video earlier today, but just never found the time to get around to it. And I wanted to put some sort of ideas together. I like the idea of organization. Sort of makes sense a little bit. That people with common interests would organize. I've had experience with some organizations, and I don't know why it just doesn't work. I mean, people, everybody needs too much control. Nobody does the work they're going to do. All this stuff, blah blah blah. So whatever. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try some more. I don't know what the history of this was before. I know some effort was made and it failed, and there was too much, too many personalities, whatever. So, I was kind of thinking, the idea of putting up a website isn't that much. I thought of one that's sort of, relates to other website I've had, but anyway, it will be, DoNotGod.com. And well, anyway, from my way I would look at it is that maybe if we do something that's sort of modular in its design, something that has different sections that are controlled by different people, then maybe we can avoid factional problems. Because I think there probably isn't too many sites on the general idea of theism. There's obviously, because the factions are always killing each other, then they don't get along, so why would they they probably can't do anything collectively. And hopefully we can do better than that, but I'm just saying, just in case we can't do better than that, maybe we should create a structure that's got some kind of fail-safe built into it, where if one part fails, another part can still survive. So I was hoping I'd put together a better list than this. I just kind of thought of things off the top of my head, just to try to think of what might make it more functional. And I was sort of thinking it might be nice if we could do video reviews. Like, we could have a group of people, like say there was a dozen of us or whatever the number is, and we'd all be assigned a certain, like say if there's 2,000 atheism related YouTube channels, that we could just maybe do the search or whatever on the word atheist or whatever the thing would be, and there would be 2,000 results, and each one person would be assigned a group of 100 of those channels, and they would go to the trouble to look over some of the stuff's content and review it, so people know what they can to expect and what they might be interested in. Because obviously the Google system, or the whole internet system of popularity breeding popularity, doesn't necessarily get you exposure to what might be what you might consider the gold that's out there. There's a lot of gold that's yet undiscovered, and and because this the popularity thing, just once you have popularity, how do you actually lose it? I mean, it's pretty. That's sort of the flaw in the system, is that you become popular enough, you could just sit here and pick your nose, and you'd still get 2,000 views. I mean, there's just no. It's kind of hard to fail once you get to the top of the mountain. So, but whatever. That's a whole nother issue. But the point of just having some sort of better information than a few stupid keywords, to understand what somebody's about, and I think would be helpful to have some, like I said, some broader, somebody who's willing to do a little bit of work, and put context to these names that don't mean too much. Sorry, I'm going on. I thought this would be like a 3-minute video, and I'm already screwed that. The other thing was subject organization. I mean, there's lots of videos on subjects, and then they're all over the place, though. There's 4-month-old ones and 3-month-old, and this one and that. I mean, they're all over. They're categorized and separated, just made distinct, so that in certain subjects you could find the content you're looking for. The other thing I thought would be nice is if I don't know who's involved in this or who's doing what. I don't know nothing about it, but maybe one of you could make a video explaining what's already in place. I mean, you say you got some people, you got this, or you got that. What do you already got? I mean, just, maybe have some sort of listing of what's already. I mean, do you have a domain name? Do we have a website? Is there something going on already? Um, you know, helps to know. And then the last thing is the idea of the having some sort of mechanism for maybe working on some collective projects, where some of us can get together and maybe, write a scripted presentation video, that do something that's a little more marketable, a little slicker than the, obviously I'm not putting much effort into my videos lately. I hope to do better, as I get past the addiction part, where now I'm just reading or listening to a lot of videos and it's just sucking up a lot of time. And so once I get past that, maybe I'll have more time to put into, actually, producing something besides just talking. But it'd be, we all have like different skills, we all have different attitudes, different personalities, all that kind of stuff, and maybe we collectively, we could take all of our strengths and put them together and do something, almost like write our own South Park episode or whatever it would be, but just to do something kind of creative and slick that would be a good marketing kind of mechanism where you really could gain some popularity. On the subject of popularity, I'm not too keen on the idea of creating a website for the purpose of going back on YouTube and trying to artificially popularize videos and all that kind of stuff, because I know you got to game the system because that's the way the system rules are built, but I'm not too comfortable with that kind of stuff, just because if we're always trying to beat systems, then we're never going to build systems that work, because it's just going to be run by the people who know how to beat them. So it's got to be some sort of, everything's got to have a little bit of integrity, and if we're always trying to find ways of getting around the system, then I don't think that does us any good. So anyway, I think kept it under 10 minutes this time. Amazing. And so that was just basically with my thoughts off the top of my head. Like I said, I've what people have commented in other videos and whatnot. I've looked at some of your stuff, and you all seem to have a passion for this, and I'm certainly interested. I don't know how much time I can devote. I don't know how much of a contribution I can make, but yeah, I'm willing to try something. What the hell?